that's where everything stems from. Like we've noticed a change in what people have been wanting to do. They wanted something different. Tennis didn't just fulfill it as we get the women's singles match here started with the mini tennis point. You know, people have been moving over to pickleball for a certain reason. We have some beautiful padel courts for a certain reason, right? And Intense comes in and recognizes that, but you know, we're all here because we think that it's an amazing sport and there's a format that we can bring people back in.
Exactly right. Bring players back in, bring fans back in, and get everyone involved. So the first point of the women's singles falls victim to a fault. But we've got our rally here lined up, and maybe pulls the trigger a bit early on the Jacksonville side. I think when we get a minute here, we're gonna try to get a member of the men's singles to come chat with us, take a minute from their cheerleading duties, and come talk to us up here in the booth. She's just missed that wide. As you can see, that scoreboard continues to run up. So you've got Tampa with 70, Jacksonville with 64. And we're looking, I mean, the ball was clearly out. It was right in front of us. I'm not sure why the referee, we've got a referee also on this line, so I'm not sure why we needed to come out and look at that. But a little bit of a stoppage there. And you can see we've got a running scoreboard like we talked about in the men's singles, but the score just continues to go. We've got the women's singles 3 bolts, then we've got the mixed doubles coming up next, and the score will continue to go. At the end of the day, Team Jacksonville, Team Tampa, who's got more points? That's how we're going to find a winner.
So here we have El Capitán Martín Rodriguez. First preseason match, first bolt. You didn't get a lot of playing time. You guys are down a little bit in the scoreboard. What happened?
Yeah, so luckily with this new format, there's substitutions. I'm struggling with a little bit of a hamstring strain, but I mean, PJ's built different. Luckily, he's carrying my back right now. He did in the singles, and he maintained a close score. So now Denise hopefully can close that gap.
You know, is there anything that you're going to try to exploit going into the mixed doubles match from one of the guys you saw first time playing against them?
Sorry to jump in, but we've got a broken string here. That Emma's just won the point with a broken string. And she doesn't have another racket, so she's not only is she changing, she's going to use somebody else's racket.
Yeah. Let's see if Denise is going to take advantage. We got El Capitan here yelling some instructions.
Pascal calling a timeout. Genius move. Emma won that point with the broken string, so it is her serve, calls a timeout, and now has to go find another racket. Sorry to interrupt your questioning, but I figured we might want to jump in and just see the drama. What do we do? She's got 60 seconds to do this. At what point do you just make a sub here, right? You know, a smart timeout to give Emma a chance. But just make a sub here. There's no need to.
Well, let's see. We got 35 seconds left. Let's see if this is going to fluster her a little bit. Pascal's going to try to calm her down. Let's see. Are they going with a sub here?
It's a smart play. You get 2 subs. There's no need. You know, it's early in the women's singles. You know, I feel like there's a lot of drama. We just relax. You know, we just do the sub.
Okay, so, you know, Pascal had to calm Emma down there a little bit. She wanted to get back in, but she seemed rushed. So, you know, we have Pascal here putting Olga, the Olympian, here, you know, to get us things started. Still a lot of time, no need to rush. You know, nice coaching move. But let's get back to the captain here. You know, are you going to be okay for mixed doubles?
Yeah, luckily it's really the side-to-side movement, so mixed doubles is one of my favorite categories. I love playing doubles, coming in on the net, and the half court's definitely going to be less hard on me.
All right, well, let's see if we can see some of those forehands from the forehand guy over there. Good luck in the mixed doubles and the rest of this bowl.
And Olga's holding her own out here. You know, she was brought in for her doubles prowess. probably wasn't anticipating being in for the singles right now, but, you know, when push comes to shove, here she is.
Hey, talk about GQ. Love the sunglasses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One of our two mothers out here, as we talked about in the pregame show, and as a parent, I mean, what does this mean? Like, you know, we touched on it a little bit, but what do you think this says? Like, not only about Intense, but just kind of the difference between us and maybe some of the other tours, and how you have two mothers here on the Tampa team that are successful in our sport.
Well, look, it's a person-first approach, not just for Claudio, but for everybody involved in this league. Like they really want to take care of players. They're looking for a way to do it there. And then Abigail, what do we have here? She tried to go in for a sneak serve to get the +2 because Olga wasn't ready.
Looks like they're doing a replay.
They're doing a replay because they had to clear the ball in the court. That's one of the few times where you're allowed to just stop and give them time to get over. But yeah, you know, I think, you know, with this league, you know, with the ability to understand when you're playing, how to schedule, well, you know when you play, you know when you compete, you know when you train. It's just easier to be a parent that way.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to take part at tennis at a high level, at tennis at the professional level, this exactly what you're saying is way more structured. There's a lot less travel. Everything's regional. Here for our first year, the teams are Jacksonville, Tampa, Atlanta, and Knoxville. So everything is right here in the Southeast United States. We're talking about weekend events. I mean, it's a much easier lifestyle to live while still playing professional tennis.
And we got Abigail Ranchelli over there, struggling a little bit with her serve as she comes in cold. You know, it's been a long time since she's played. So then, you know, we'll see how she's going to manage it as she tries to warm up here.
Yeah, Abby, I got to talk to her this week. The NC State Wolfpack member. And she's got to be happy that she's back in a pack a little bit. I mean, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, appreciate the word from the team here. It's Martin Gutierrez. You know, not Martin Rodriguez. We're not all perfect here, but we all a great team trying to support each other. So thank you for that. And
the forehand guy.
I just call him the forehand guy.
The forehand
guy.
That's the thing.
He's the forehand guy.
He's the forehand guy. Yeah, it's tough to hear him injured, but it almost, I mean, as much as we want him to be healthy, this points out that aspect that we were talking about earlier, where if this were an ATP event, he's got a hamstring. He's got to think about his year. He's got to think about, you know, not only this match, but next week and, you know, a slam coming up or whatever it may be. So he may not even play today with the smallest of injuries. Here he is, giving it his all. But to his point, he said, you know, PJ is picking up my slack. PJ is carrying me on the back right now. And that's the beauty of this team intense format.
Olga going for the underhand serve here at 77-74, and it worked.
It was just long. Abby's complaining.
Yeah, we're back here close to that
out.
Baseline. It was out.
Yeah, probably a little lucky there because that was not the most well-executed underarm serve I've seen. I wonder if she ever brought the underarm serve out while she was playing on tour. It's more of a recent phenomenon within our sport. I mean, popularized certainly by Nick Kyrgios.
Well, and balls being slower, you know, players having the ability to stand farther back and just absolutely crush returns.
Yeah.
You know, they've had to innovate, find new ways.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing here at Intense as well. And we get to see the different shots because of the different strategies.
Right.
Oh, Olga almost not ready, but then she catches it, and Abby gets the point right there.
It works for her, and here comes Emma back in. She's got a different string bed, actually. This is not what she's. It might be the same racket, but they're different strings. You can tell by the color. They're also worn. I mean, we can see from here the fraying there in the middle of the bed. I wonder if we're going to see a second broken string at some point in this. And
they've already used
bowl.
their 2 substitutions, so they can't sub her out.
Yep.
So she would have to definitely use a different racket.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's a great point I didn't think about. If that were to happen in this bowl, she just has to stay in. Tough luck.
Big energy from Emma here, the Baylor All-American. She's ready to go. You know, with the 80-77 lead, are we going to see her slow down and just get to the break in between bowls to figure out the equipment situation?
I don't think so. I mean, you saw it on her face right there. Like, she's focused right here on her tennis, and she wants to help her team. She's going, look, I know I can get a lot of points. and I'm going to run up the score if I can. I don't think she's worried about, oh, is my string going to break? I mean, that's what a professional does. They worry about their tennis.
Playing fearless. They're huge serve, probably the biggest serve we've seen so far in this bowl. Not afraid to go for it. The lead helps her.
And you see her, she misses the serve, immediately just starts bouncing around. She's ready for the next point. That's the energy you want to see from your player out here to start the women's singles. It was out. I don't know if we're gonna.
Did it see?
Well, no challenge there from Abby. She's been overwhelmed by balls.
Emma's so intense right now that maybe it might be too much energy, but it's working for her right now.
Hey, that's really smart by her after getting a couple of balls thrown at her when she needs one. But to take her time. She reset. I know she missed the serve, but she reset before throwing the ball up and getting a point going.
And look at that. Pascal showing his calm side right there. Something we talked about, knowing what to do when to say what, how to say it. And here Pascal, he's usually the animated one, and here he comes to tell her, it's okay, slow down.
Yep, yeah, exactly. And that's it. Yeah, we can't be doing this with balls in the court, but we're working out the kinks as the ball kids continue to learn their role, because they do have a very active role in our format here. But yeah, to your point, I mean, Pascal kind of bringing the energy when his players need it. And maybe right now with Emma being, so intense on her own, he knows my job is just to keep her calm, keep her focused. They're very, very supportive on the sideline.
Great slice by Emma there, sliding into it. Abby has a little bit of a Western forehand there, and just that ball just sailed right after. A little frustration from her.
Wow, what a get. And I think exactly what you said just then, sliding into that last slice, but also there on defense, the movement. You can tell she's grown up on clay court, and she knows how to slide into the ball. And Abby, being from America, she's not going to have played on clay nearly as much.
It looks like Emma's just going to take the score down, take the clock down, and just take her
Smart.
time going into the next bolt.
Really, really smart there by her. And you see that in football a lot. That's kind of funny, where you've got the play clock and the play clock and the game clock. And you see that 1 second difference, you go, I don't need to rush it here.
Once again, encouraging you guys to check out INTENNSE.com to find out more details. Again,
so we're going to change sides here between bolts. We've got 2 minutes. Jacksonville and Tampa are going to change here for the second bolt, and then again in the third bolt, what we're going to see is after 5 minutes, they'll swap again. So there shouldn't be an advantage with the side, with the wind and the sun. Although, in the last 20 minutes or so, it has become much more overcast, and the righties on the far side from where we're standing definitely don't have to look into the sun like they did when we started, when we were talking about Yvonne.
And don't worry, Mom, I still got my sunscreen on.
Mama Abone, fear not. We've got Yannick out here on the far side, working with our intensifiers, just making sure they're organized, they know their role. The intensifiers are what we're calling all these kids out here in the team shirts, right? The ball kids, as they're maybe more commonly called, but we've got intensifiers. And you've got Yannick and his mother helping us out today. They're doing a great job.
And Team Jacksonville electing to not substitute Abby. She didn't have a great run to finish off. You can sub in a player in between bolts, and it doesn't count as one of your substitutions. They're going to give her a little bit more time. I wonder if it's going to be too much time, because it's been a while since Denise has played. We've talked about how do you manage, not getting cold too much, so that when you come out, you got to be ready to go.
100%. Yeah, I mean, Denise, she's got her racket. She's ready to go, and she wants in. I mean, everybody wants in, right? You want to help your team. So it is interesting, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough just when you're standing there and cheering. You're really maybe not quite like you got to go in and just play a point right off the bat. It is tough. It is tough. So I think we're going to see maybe her bounce around a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to do on the sideline is.
Well, that's why we're not coaching.
I guess
we just get to watch here and criticize.
Yeah, I just get to stand up here and say that was wrong and that was bad.
I was a great Monday morning quarterback.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah. Good penetrating ball striking over here from Abby. Emma trying to change the pace, get the ball up as she was slicing a bit in that last round, and Abby just hitting through the court, very penetrating.
You know, in a little soft fist pump from Abby there, trying to get her going. Verbal positivity, even though it's small, it's quiet. We know it's a big thing in tennis. I mean, how were you when you were playing? Were you a fired up kind of guy? And we have all the different types, you know. You have the three types, right? And literally the three greatest players of our generation. There's the Federer personality, there's the Nadal personality, and there's the Djokovic personality. Where were you within that?
I was maybe the cross between the Djokovic and Nadal. I was a good competitor. And I'll say I am a good competitor. I mean, I am still competing with the Knoxville team, so I am a good competitor. But I will throw in the Murray style as well. Maybe a little bit of talking to the box, maybe a little bit of complaining, you know, maybe needless complaining, let's say. And that's maybe more where I fall. Good competitor, but I like everyone to know what I'm feeling on court.
Well, clearly it worked out for you. You had a great career at UT. You know, you had a great career on the ATP Tour, playing in all the Grand Slams, and we're lucky to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Going for the +2 there with the drop shot from Abby there. Calm after, you know, keeping her composure very well. Again, you see Denise just pacing around, being like, Claudio, come on, I had my espresso 10 minutes ago. I'm ready to play.
Put me in, bobbity boobity. Yeah, and you see the guys. I mean, look at poor PJ, man. I mean, he played a lot of tennis in that men's singles, you know, picking up the slack for Martine being a little bit injured. And they're just taking their time. They know they've still got the mixed doubles. Their day's not over yet, but Denise is over there, Claudio.
Yeah, I think Patrick's waiting on his Uber Eats order for the kookaburoo wings, you know, because he needs something to get going as the mixed doubles is coming up after this women's singles match.
Yeah. He's our only lefty out here today as well, so possibly an advantage for Team Jacksonville going into, you know, being able to throw that lefty serve into the mixed doubles. You know, I've talked to a lot of female players that have played mixed doubles at a very high level, have practiced with males, and what they say, I mean, the biggest difference is the serve, but it's not the pace, it's the spin, right? It's the spin and the movement off the court of the male serve, and so with him being lefty even, it's quite the advantage. We'll see how they utilize that in the mixed doubles.
You know, when my son first started grabbing a tennis racket, I always tried everything left hand. But left hand, and he'd always switch it over to the right. And I'm like, your career is done at 1 year old. You don't understand.
Look, you're not.
Was that a +2?
You're not gonna. No, I think you got it. I think she got it. Excuse me. But you know, son, look, you're not gonna be 6'3". You don't have the genes for it, so if you want a chance, you got to be lefty, right?
Just come play Intense. We'll change that lefty rule. You'll be just fine.
That's exactly right. JY, does your son, is he getting into, how old's your son now? He's 3, right?
3.
Is he getting into tennis at all? Do you go out and do you hit the little soft balls with him at all?
Oh, we did. Over the winter break.
Yeah?
You know, hours straight. Problem is, doesn't let me coach him. Can't say a thing. Denise finally in here, and Pascal with some complaints. Denise ready to go, asking for the ball, fired up. Tampa's up 91-83. Still got some complaining from Pascal. The clock's running. Denise should just get up and play. You know, Pascal stalling, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like there was some controversy with maybe someone called a timeout, but I don't know if they weren't serving. I'm not actually sure what happened. It all happened a little fast, and then the coaches just started yelling. And when that happens,
we've seen 3 redirects with the down the lines here. You don't see that often in tennis.
Denise holding the baseline strong. She's really moving laterally along the baseline and not on those angles. But it's working pretty well. I know she missed the last ball, but able to kind of take a little bit of time away just with her movement, not taking the ball any earlier.
You know, they don't move like that in pickleball.
Well, she would know. Denise Intense. The two ball kids here, the intensifiers down underneath us. When Team Jacksonville turns around and looks for a ball, we got 2 of them throwing all the time. They got to get on the same page here.
We got DJ Mad Links here, pumping up the music, speeding it up, understanding that Tampa's got an 8-point lead, you know, in this second bolt here. And we see Denise right here. It's a 9-point lead now, 93-84. Both players finally look like they're settled in. You know, they look calm.
Definitely. We had the men's go back and forth a little until Tampa was able to get the lead at the end. and they've just maintained that all throughout the singles. The differential has been similar. Oh, and we're gonna have. Oh, I don't think Denise wants to come out.
That's a very quick sub there.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. I don't know that Denise wanted to come out. She felt like she had a little momentum.
Well, we're going to see. You know, we brought up Martin Gutierrez, and we asked him what happened, and we found out he was injured. Maybe there's something we don't know about Denise that Coach Claudio knows. There's a reason why he's the coach, and we're here.
True. And we've got a sub now on the other side as well for Tampa. 4 minutes to play here in the second bolt of the women's singles. For someone that maybe was brought on for her doubles prowess, A, she's playing a lot of singles, and B, she's moving well. This was the hardest thing for me, playing majority doubles for the last bit of my career, and now moving back into a more well-rounded singles and doubles player. The movement of a singles match is one of the hardest things to get back into, and she's doing quite well.
Well, we can see her making calm decisions, even though she's a great double. Look at that. You know, with the clay drop shot going behind the person, genius play right there. You know, we see her making some very calm singles decisions.
Yes.
You know, even though she's got great volleys and overhead, she's not forcing the net.
For sure.
She understands how to play singles as well. And again, that's something that we didn't know. So Claudio, great conversation. So far, it looks like a great substitution.
Yeah. Pascal, you mean? That was over there on the Tampa side.
And with a clean winner tying this at 93 apiece.
So Olga comes in just for a few points, and they get Emma back in for Team Tampa. So I wonder if that sub seems like from up here, and you know, we don't know, we don't have access to their brains, but seems like that could have just been to give Emma a little break, get Olga out there. She was out there for about a minute and a half, and then bring Emma back in to maybe finish this bolt off for the Tampa team.
You know, Jacksonville had tied it up. They were down 9, tied it up 93 all. 94-93, so much tennis left to be played anyway because it's total score at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's huge. That's huge, and she's not going to get the serve off. Wow. So 1 second on the clock, but I think that was some generous timekeeping in my opinion.
Well, and then we see her go for the drop shot after, so even though she was just barely able to get it off, maybe she was a little bit flustered right there, trying to just mind racing a little bit too fast.
Yep, yeah. I think that, you know, the team was over there telling her, slow down, you know, let the clock run down. She almost looked like she was ready to serve and then stopped her motion to restart, and you wonder if that kind of messed into it. You see her lining up now with 12 seconds to go, and you just want to play at your pace. You know, you don't want to overthink this time thing, right? And see, she's able to just play at her pace and get a point. A great serve.
Coach coming out there to check the mark just in case.
Jacksonville's done a great job to work themselves back into this match, as Tampa, for everything we've seen so far, the women have been able to maintain that lead, and now we're just down to a 2-point, 3-point now, as Tampa works to build it back up.
You know, we see Abby here. It's very humid in Florida.
Yeah.
You know, hands very sweaty. We don't have a lot of time here. We got the clock there, and you know, you have to play at the server's pace, wiping her hand with your shirt. I'm sure she'd love a towel. You know, we're wondering how she's going to be able to help this.
That
might be slipping.
That serve was in. Oh, wow. I'm not sure they have the right mark, because that sure looked in. And
she goes for it.
two-pointer,
and the ref wasn't
gets
ready
it.
Either. Did he
and
see
gets
that?
it. Okay, so they're saying it has to be played let. Now, I don't like that, and here's why, JY. I'm going to tell you why. The referee didn't need to come check the ball mark, did anyway, and then didn't go back. And if we want to play it at a fast, continuous pace, that ref needs to either come out, check it quick, and get back. But there can't be that stoppage, because that really slows down the pace as Abby's trying to come back into this match.
I think his double espresso wore off. We got to get him a new one.
Maybe. Well, let's see. We'll talk to the production team and see what we can do.
Huge fist pump from Emma there.
Emma
Fired
with a
up.
little stare down as well at the end. She's playing to win out here.
There she goes again. You know, she has the lead, doesn't rush a point at the very end, keeps her composure. understands this is a long-term game. We got 60 seconds here in between bolts. Gosh, the maturity from her, really exceptional today.
Yeah, but you know what I'm impressed with, especially there in that second bolt, was Abby's ability to bring it back, all the way to a tie game, and now only down by 3 going into the last bolt here of the women's singles. And I'm impressed by that. I want to see what she does. I want to see what Claudio does. Look, Denise is over there with Claudio. Denise wants in. Let's see what their strategy is going into the third bolt on player substitution and how they're going to manage the women's singles.
There you see Emma and Pascal trying to have a conversation there, but it looked more like it was a one-way conversation from Emma. She's doing great. She feels confident. She knows what she's doing. Again, we see Pascal there understanding the moment, and just sometimes the right thing to do as a coach and being the best coach is doing nothing at all and just say, doing a great job. Keep it up.
Yeah, exactly right. I want to ask you, how would you manage this if you were Claudio going into this last? Because you've got 2 players that really want to play. You've got one player that's played a bit more today, but has done well in Abby. And you've got Denise going, Coach, I want in as well. So what are you doing going into the third bolt? How do you approach this as a coach?
I think you have to play Denise. We really haven't gotten an opportunity to see her skills. She's an incredible player with incredible movement out here, but just had to go in cold a little bit. Right. And we also have the mixed doubles after this. So if she doesn't get a lot of playing time here, you risk 2 things. One, Abigail playing too much tennis, being tired for that. And then we run the risk of Denise not playing enough tennis, having to come into the mixed doubles. So I think you have to be willing to sacrifice a few points, hope it works out for your best. You get 2 substitutions anyway. So I think you sub 1 in right now, put in Denise right now, because then you still got 2 more for the rest of the 10 minutes, and then manage it from there. I think Denise needs to play.
I think that's great insight from you. I would add to that. I don't think you have a level difference between the 2 players. So you really don't have a wrong player necessarily. But it is about. I love how you talked about thinking about it long term, and that's a different way of looking at it. Look at Emma's looking at us, giving a little chirp up our way. But I think that's a great way of looking at it. Like, you have to think about the whole overall match when you're the coach. It's not just about this. It's not just about this women's singles or the men's singles before, but it is both.
So, once again, I'm wrong. Coach Claudio does something else. He's kept his team close. We'll see if it works out. All right, we got a point there for Team Jacksonville, 97-96. Coach Claudio proving me wrong once again why I'm back here and not on the court.
I like to see this from Denise, swinging her arm. She's ready to go at a moment's notice. Oh, the backhand gets away from her, but Emma's doing a great job of changing the pace, getting the ball up on the clay courts.
Abigail really tries to play close to the baseline.
She
but
does.
On clay, the ball can bounce a little bit more differently. You have the grains of the court. If the ball bounces close to the line, it's going to bounce differently. And so when you can't time the ball very well, it's tough. And, we see Emma with great flexible court position, growing up in Europe, training at an academy in Spain. She has a lot more experience on this. We can see the difference in movement. We're going to see how, we've seen Abigail have some errors like that being too close to the baseline.
Yeah.
We'll see how she's going to manage this.
Yeah, definitely. And, court positioning is so big in all areas of tennis, but especially when you're on clay courts. It's not only about the bad bounces, but you just don't get rewarded for that up on the baseline style of play, style of movement, right?
Yeah, better to have a cleaner hit, bigger hit, because you need the power to hit through the slow court. Now, this is what we talked about. So Denise finally comes in, but look, she's going to be cold. It's okay. You got to let her work through this. You can't. She hasn't played in a while. I think this is good. It's so early in this bowl. It's close, 101-96. We've seen a 9-point deficit be cut already.
That toss gets away from Emma, and in our format, look, she knows it herself. She throws her arm out in front of her, got way out in front of her. And in our format, you can't catch that. And JY, I love that. I love it. Let's one toss, throw the ball up, and hit it.
Yeah, if not, it's too much of an advantage for the server if they're able to just toss it and only hit the one that's perfect.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. Like a bit of an extended point, only 4 or 5 balls, but Denise able to just swing out on a couple shots, work her way into this bolt, because this is kind of all for it. We've got 3 points differentiating them at this moment.
You know, and Pascal choosing a moment right now to provide some coaching advice. You know, Denise is coming in. She's got a different game style than Abigail, so Pascal trying to get her to adjust.
Also probably having much more of a dialogue with Emma about when maybe she wants to be subbed out potentially, because my impression would be you'd probably want to sub. What a great ball by Denise. You probably want to sub one time.
+2
2 points for Denise. You want to sub one time, get Olga in, take your break, and bring Emma back in to finish out the bowl. That would be my thinking as the coach of the Tampa team.
Yeah, and have you ever listened to your coach? Because you can see
Never,
that Emma.
never, JY.
You can see that Emma actually played a very different game style. She was playing a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more through the court. She tried to work the point a little bit more right there, be patient, and it ended up giving a +2. I saw her give a little chirp back there to Pascal. Maybe she was a little bit upset with that coaching advice, but I mean, you can tell she's willing to listen. But hey, sometimes, coach, you're coaching, I'm playing.
That's what we talked about all day. You got to know when to say, and what to say, right?
101-101. We are tied. We talked about deficits, coming back, tying up. So now Denise has been able to play. She's been able to get into a rhythm. And all right. So Claudia, I think I'm right so far.
Right now, 102-101. Just under 6 minutes to go.
Emma again, slowing it down. Uh-oh. We got a ball coming in. Yeah, stop the
How's
point.
the
stop
referee
going to
handle this?
Yeah. But, I mean, a gift for Team Tampa because this clock did not stop. So they got to waste another 30 seconds there.
You know,
I say a gift. I mean, we're at a tie game, so really the time's of nobody's benefit right now.
Well, and that speaks to the professionalism of both players. Like, understanding the moment. Like, hey, it was an accident. We don't need to, be rude here. That was great by both Denise, by Coach Claudio, and just everybody involved. Hey, let's be easy.
The intensifiers are doing their best. Oh, errant backhand there. That's too bad. That's too bad.
Denise kind of throwing her posture a little bit too much into the backhand at times. You know, as part of the clay court, again, part of the strategy change, we see Emma spinning balls up more, and we see Denise getting off balance there on some of those.
Pressing a little bit, where when she first came in, that toss is just getting away from her. I mean, that one was well back over her left shoulder. But we see Denise, we got the 5-minute change here. We see Denise pressing a little bit, where when she came in, she did work the point a little bit. She was hitting those, good deep shots side to side, and was on defense. And in the last couple points, maybe going for a bit too much, a bit too early in the point.
So you want to just put that out there. Real men wear pink. And Lori Adams says he definitely agrees.
Got a little entertaining banter here. Coach Pascal saying real men wear pink, and Nori Smiles agreeing. I don't know if I agree with that though, JY. You got to be the right man to wear pink, and I just don't think I'm the right man. That doesn't make me not a real man though, right?
Pink's for everyone.
I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if let me say this. I don't know that Team Knoxville is going to be rocking pink. Good serve there. Good energy from Denise.
Up by Denise. Fired up. 103, tied up. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left. Third bolt here. Let's see what happens in this women's singles match.
You see Abby on the sideline as well. She's ready to go. Got racket in her hand. She's up off the bench. But if I'm Claudio, I'm letting Denise go here. Let her play, right? It's all right. Wow.
It's okay. Is this working out? That's okay.
Let her play.
Showing the frustration, but really, I mean, she's done a good job. She should be happy about herself. Was down in this bolt, got it back together, doing a great job. But, I mean, look, she's fired up. She's an incredible competitor.
For sure.
She's competed on the WTA Tour, competed in college, competed in Israel, competed in pickleball, competing in the education room where she's got her master's, getting her PhD. She's a competitor. She hates losing.
Yeah, and that's what we want here. Before that point, her and Abby actually having a conversation, Abby helping her out. I think Denise was complaining that it was tough to see in times. And Abby actually saying like, oh, you know, hey, try this, maybe move back, look, here it is again. And they're having a conversation. And I love to see that from teammates, right? I love to see that between the teammates helping each other out.
You know, we've seen some errors from Denise moving out to the right. You know, let's see if this is a strategy that Emma's going to use more. Try to get her moving to the right with Western forehands. They're a little bit better from the left side of the court.
Was that a two-pointer?
I guess that's why he says the only point that matters.
Maybe not.
Excellent.
But that looked like a swing and a miss to me. Maybe she tipped it. But so interesting you say that because, yeah, we are seeing some errors sneak in, but I would also classify her forehand as a weapon. I mean, when the ball's there, she's able to hit it, and she's able to hit it hard. When she's got time like this right here.
Yeah, when she's got, well, there you see, from the right side of the court.
Yep.
Struggled.
Pressing a bit, maybe. That one before, you know, she had time. Hit a great ball.
Is she asking for a sub there? We'll see. No, you can't. You can choose to sub when you're not serving, but that return needs to be ready because it's at the server's pace.
Yep.
So she saw him, it was about to serve. We'll see if she moves over. Does she call for the sub again?
Good ball there.
Okay, so much better up and back movement from Abigail here.
There, a two-pointer on the line. Great ball by Denise.
Yeah, she just wanted to be subbed out. She goes for the +2. And I was going to say, do we get Olga in here? You know, she's going to be playing doubles. Amazing doubles player.
Right.
But we need to get some reps. The score's
Right.
tied. If you lose a couple extra points, there's still so much
Right.
time in that doubles bowl. And here we go. I think me and Pascal were on the same page.
Yeah. And look, Olga's made a little outfit change. She's lost the glasses. She's coming in. She's coming in fresh. Now, what do you do if you're Claudio? Do you go with a sub right now, or do you let Denise roll, who's got a little bit of rhythm? And playing against the cold sub?
I think it's a conversation you have with Abigail. You know, she played a lot of tennis.
Wow, another two-pointer.
Denise is playing great.
Jacksonville pulling away a little bit. This is their biggest lead in a long time.
I don't, considering how much Abigail played, I don't know how cold she's going to get.
True.
I mean, we'll see. Right now, she doesn't have the racket in her hand. I don't think a sub's coming anytime soon.
Personally, I like this from Claudio. I think you let Denise go. Look, she's not lost a point to Olga yet. They're making the sub back to Emma. So all that was to give Emma a little breather. And now that this sub is made, I think you let Denise play one or two. And now I wouldn't be surprised if we bring Abigail in to end this bowl.
We'll see how that affects Olga because, you know, again, are you taking confidence away from a player where they lose 2-3 points and they're out, the score's close. You can play so many points, you know, in the 30 minutes that we have here for each match. You know, but she's an experienced player, an Olympian.
Right.
I don't think she'll get phased.
Right. To remind everybody, the clock is stopping. Now we're in the last minute of the last bolt of the women's singles here. So the clock's going to stop between points. It's running right now. But as soon as this point's over, it'll stop. And that's to maximize the amount of bad bounce there. Yeah, it was a touch. It was
Pascal
touch.
trying to buy the call, but the referee heard it. You know,
Denise
Firing
sticking up for
back.
herself. You love that. You love to see that.
and that's the clay court thing, right? Where
Right.
you got to be careful playing so close to the baseline because of the bad bounces that are on clay. And now there's a beautifully groomed court, but that's just clay.
It's clay, and it's also we haven't swept these courts since before the men's singles. So that we've played 30 minutes of men's matches. Now we've got nearly 30 minutes, 29 and a half minutes of women's. And so, yeah, the court's just going to get chewed up with how much these players are moving.
And we talked about her forehand there. She ran around the backhand, shifting a little left, and she goes to winner.
Yep. If you're Claudio, you let her go here. 36 seconds, you let her go. She's got the rhythm, you let her go.
Grunting getting louder here. This is great.
You love the dropper on clay. This is your chance, 2 points. She
+2!
takes it. She has done just phenomenally well at the end of this match. I mean, Tampa's been up for such a long time. Now Jacksonville up by, I was going to say 6, which is correct, right? Check my math. Up by 6. The DJ just said 8, but it is a 6-point
She
lead.
loses the point here. So, you know, in the last 60 seconds of the 30. Oh, Denise saying she heard a timeout.
Wow.
You know, but that's part of the fun here, the chaos, the
Right.
energy, the noise, the
Right.
screaming. Anybody can say anything at any point in time. Denise thought she heard. Looks like Nori Smiles calling
Out.
timeout. But again, you can't call a timeout unless you're serving.
You can call it all you want. You're just not going to get rewarded one. So again, maybe potentially a little gamesmanship move. That was out.
And there we see the official timeout when they're serving. And you can play a lot of points, even in 16 seconds. You can play 4 or 5 points. With the +2s, you can win a lot.
It's tense, JY.
Intense.
I set that one up, didn't I? Yeah, we've got the music going. Denise, look, I like this by Claudia. Let Denise go. She's benefiting from this timeout, even though Tampa called it as well. Let her out. Let her stay out there. You see Pascal over there talking with Emma.
Great music here by
Yeah.
DJ Mad Links.
Yeah.
Dropping the beat,
Yeah.
flowing it down,
Yeah.
up in the bass, understanding the moment.
He understood the assignment.
He's good.
Ad side. Denise asking there. We talked about it before. Asking what went from, just making sure she's ready when we start here. Last 16 seconds. Oh, not what you want to see. Not what you want to see out of the timeout.
It's tough. You know, you just sat down. You got to go in. You only got one serve. You know, Emma's had a lot of faults, really.
Yeah.
Today, so was that the best time to call it? You know, again, preseason, learning about your players, learning about when to call timeouts, when
Right.
not.
But you can't. Well, you can. Obviously, they can't. They're all the teams are out of subs. Good
Oh,
touch by Denise.
Great
Good touch. Saving a point there. I know she lost the point, but what I mean by saving the point is she didn't give up the 2-pointer there.
Fighting for every point.
Good.
Trying to sneak in maybe 2 points before the clock is
Yeah.
up because they were
And
down
they've got
5.
one. The clock shouldn't have stopped. There should be 2 seconds left on the clock. There it is. 2 seconds left on the clock. So if you make this serve, this is the last point of the match, of the women's singles match.
Deep Seeker's brutal.
Oh no, and she misses it. Well, 2
And there it
seconds
is.
ticked off. So that's that.
Because remember, once the ball hits the net, the point starts. You can play it off from there.
So actually, yes, true. But in Intense, it's the time is starting on the toss. So that's why 2 seconds ticked off. Because by the time the toss plus the net plus the out, 2 seconds did tick off, I guess.